Tonight, demolished homes
It's heading towards the...
and shattered lives.
You don't ever expect to look around and see your neighborhood look like this.
After dozens of killer tornadoes tear across the South, and the search goes on for victims. I'm Katie Couric. Also tonight, he's now the way out in front runner. John McCain tries to lock up the GOP nomination, but Democrats Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton fight on. Autopsy results show actor Heath Ledger died of an accidental overdose of prescription drugs. And fantastic science, growing your own replacement parts in a lab.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening, everyone. It was the deadliest outbreak of tornadoes in more than 2 decades, and tonight rescue crews are out in 5 southern states looking for victims of the storms. At least 54 people were killed, hundreds more were injured as the storms last night ripped buildings apart and sent cars flying. There were 67 eyewitness reports of tornadoes, though government forecasters say the number of actual twisters was more likely between 30 and 40. And they mowed down everything in their path from Arkansas to Alabama. Nancy Cordes begins our coverage.
The barrage of tornadoes descended after dark. So it wasn't until dawn broke that the scope of the devastation became clear.
It's a lot worse than we predicted.
Arkansas, at least 13 dead. In Atkins, firefighters went door to door looking for more casualties.
Has this house been swept?
Xing off houses as they went. Tennessee, at least 26 dead, 10 of them in Macon County near the Kentucky border.
You don't ever expect to look around and see your neighborhood look like this.
Northeast of Nashville, the storms sparked a fire 400 feet high at a natural gas pumping station. In Jackson, a twister took out a dormitory at Union University. For a time, 20 students were trapped, 50 went to the hospital. Alabama, at least 4 dead, 3 of them in one family, parents and their teenage son whose home was decimated. Kentucky, at least 7 dead. Some victims there say they weren't warned. There wasn't time. What now?
Just called the governors of the affected states. I wanted them to know that this government will help them.
Something of my son, Jacob. That's my youngest son.
Here in Arkansas, one twister tossed Sevilla Dixon's cars and the contents of her freezer clear across her farm, to say nothing of what it did to her house.
We have found pictures, and that's the most important thing. And I found my grandmother's Bible, and I found pictures of my son who's in Iraq.
Her dog is dead somewhere in that field. She hasn't been able to bring herself to go get him.
Just right over here, I think 3 people got killed, and but we would have, if we would have been here, we wouldn't have survived this. There's no way.
Those 3 people she mentioned were a father, a mother, and their 11-year-old daughter who were killed in their home by the same twister that ravaged this church building. We'd show you that home, Katie, but there's nothing left of it to see.
Nancy, it's so sad. And you mentioned some people in Kentucky didn't get much warning. Was that the case in most of the states that were hit last night?
Well, in some rural communities where they don't have those early warning systems, yes, they say they were taken by surprise. Many people knew for days that the conditions were ripe for tornadoes, and they did hear those sirens, but they said when the twisters came, there were so many of them and they came so quickly, they just didn't have time to get to shelter.
All right, Nancy Cordes. Nancy, thank you very much. Forecasters say tornadoes can hit just about anywhere in the United States at any time, but tornadoes in the winter are very rare. Unseasonably warm temperatures help to kick them off. Kelly Kobiea continues our coverage tonight from Hartsville, Tennessee.
It's awful in here. It don't look like a house. It looked like a cattle pen.
Frank Bronner isn't sure what surprises him more.
Is this your ceiling?
That's my ceiling.
The loss of his home or losing it to a tornado in winter.
It was the worst than I ever saw in this part of the country.
Right, and it's February.
That's right. We've still got March, April, the tornado season just beginning, really.
This is tornado country. It's just not tornado time. Just 5 weeks into the year, there have been more than 200 tornado sightings nationwide, compared to 59 tornadoes in an average year. An active and deadly start. Last year, 81 people were killed in tornadoes. This year, that number is already up to 57. Blame it on the same phenomenon that spawned tornadoes in Wisconsin last month. Spring-like temperatures in the dead of winter. Frank Bronner's hometown of Hartsville, Tennessee, hit a record high of 72 before the cold front moved in.
It's cold air and warm air colliding, but the bigger the temperature disparity, the more violent that reaction can be, as we just saw.
Weather experts do see a silver lining here. So they say that storms like this, severe, which lift homes from their foundations and kill dozens at a time, only come around every 10 years. Katie?
All right, Kelly Kobiea in Hartsville, Tennessee tonight. And one more weather story. Wind and snow brought trouble to the Midwest today. More than a foot of snow fell in southern Wisconsin and eastern Iowa. At Chicago's O'Hare Airport, 1,000 flights were canceled because of the storm. Now turning to the presidential campaign. After Super Tuesday, the title's frontrunner for Hillary Clinton and underdog for Barack Obama no longer seem to fit. Obama won 13 states yesterday, Clinton 8, but she's got more delegates. And tonight, the latest CBS News delegate counts shows them very close. Both still need a whole lot more delegates, and here's where they'll try to get them. These states hold primaries or caucuses later this month. These states follow later in March, and then Pennsylvania votes in April. Dean Reynolds is covering the Democrats tonight.
This is what a tie looks like. Two candidates basking in a victory, each claimed.
Tonight we are hearing the voices of people across America.
Our time has come.
But after the cheers died down and the flood of Super Tuesday data receded, a couple of potential icebergs have emerged. For Clinton, it involves younger voters. Nationally, she ran double digits behind Obama among those 39 and younger. For Obama, it was Hispanics and white women. He ran almost 30 points behind among Hispanics and lost white women by a wide margin. Today, though, he said he's not worried about the implications for November.
I have no doubt that I can get the people who voted for Senator Clinton in a general election.
Obama and Clinton were both in Washington today, but their thoughts may well have been on those 8 contests in the next 2 weeks.
How are you?
Indeed, Clinton has loaned her campaign $5 million of her own money to see her through the near term.
For me, this is about actually drawing the contrast between the two of us.
On that point, her campaign is pressing for at least 4 more debates with the junior senator from Illinois, hoping to expose a flaw or two. But Obama said debates soak up vital time he could be spending on the ground getting to know people. Today, he would commit to 1 for now.
I don't think anybody's clamoring for more debates. We've had, what, 18 debates so far?
But of course, only that last encounter was one-on-one, which is why Senator Clinton is pressing to have more. Katie?
Dean Reynolds. Dean, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Republican John McCain is in delegate heaven tonight. Our CBS News count shows he has hundreds more than all of his competitors combined. Chip Reed is covering the surging McCain campaign.
He's on the brink of one of the most stunning comebacks in modern presidential politics, but a subdued John McCain today showed no signs of celebrating.
I think we've got to try to wrap this thing up as quickly as possible.
He's already focused, he said, on key states coming up in the next week, including Kansas, Washington State, and Virginia. But with victories in 9 states from coast to coast on Super Tuesday, including the biggest prize, California, even superstitious John McCain told supporters, yes, he is the likely nominee.
I think we must get used to the idea that we are the Republican Party frontrunner for the nomination of the president.
McCain's advisors say he is now so far ahead in the delegate count, he's all but unstoppable. Try telling that, though, to Mike Huckabee, who was giddy after far exceeding expectations.
A lot of people have been trying to say that this is a 2-man race. Well, you know what? It is, and we're in it.
The good news for Huckabee, he won 5 states, but the bad news, they're all in the South, and he did poorly almost everywhere else. Huckabee did do some serious damage to Mitt Romney, who got pummeled in the South, largely because Huckabee cornered the market on Christian conservatives. Today, Romney huddled with advisors in Boston to try to figure out if and how he can go on. As for McCain, he says his top priority now is uniting the Republican Party. That could be tough, though, because some conservative activists say they may boycott the election if he's the nominee. Today, McCain said his critics need to calm down. We'll see if they do. Katie?
Chip Reed. Chip, thank you. Now to something the next president will certainly have to deal with, Iraq. The U.S. military there released video today that apparently shows al-Qaeda is now training children to become terrorists. From Baghdad, here's Mark Strassman.
It's a kidnapping course for Iraqi boys, some of them no older than 10. Al-Qaeda in Iraq sees its future in these training videos, seized during a Baghdad raid. The boys learn to storm a house, an adult instructor yelling, "Take cover." Their target, a family inside. It's no game. One recent killer here was 11.
Into the home of a sheikh in the Anbar province with a box of candy and blew up, killing several.
No one has any idea how many Iraqi kids al-Qaeda has already turned into killers. But clearly this tape was a recruiting tool to be played in mosques where there are terror cells or in the homes of sympathetic families. In this war zone, kids have often been used as props and pawns. On this jihadi video, a boy carries a mortar round. He's 6, too small to reach the mortar without a boost. But now, U.S. officials claim al-Qaeda is running out of adult fighters. So more often, Iraq's hidden face of terror could be a child's. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Baghdad.
There is much more CBS News ahead. Coming up next, growing miracles. Doctors creating new organs from patient cells. It's not fantasy, it's real. Every day in this country, people die waiting for a donor organ because there's a critical shortage. About 98,000 people are on a waiting list for transplants right now. Many of them will die before they get one. But now a new generation of researchers is changing that one cell at a time. And what they're doing is truly amazing. Wyatt Andrews goes inside this brave new world in our special series, Growing Miracles.
Body temperature. Right. That's for the same temperature as inside your body.
In what you might call the laboratory of the future, Dr. Anthony Atala is manufacturing body parts.
Actually, here you see a engineered blood vessel. You can actually see the vessel beating.
From blood vessels to muscle tissue, Atala and his team at Wake Forest University believe, in theory, anything inside the body can be grown outside the body. They've made 18 different types of tissue so far.
That's a heart valve. This is an engineered heart valve.
A pulsing heart valve to be transplanted into a sheep.
When people ask me, what do? We grow tissues and organs.
You really are making body parts.
We are making body parts that we can implant right back into patients.
Once considered a Frankenstein fantasy, the field of regenerative medicine is on the verge of unimagined breakthroughs. Scientists believe every part of the body has cells capable of regeneration. All researchers need to do is isolate those cells and coax them to grow.
You're using heart cells in an inkjet printer.
Yes. In this lab, they're making the heart of a mouse. A heart they grew layer by layer by spraying the cells with a printer.
So your heart cell is programmed to make more heart tissue. Your bladder cells are programmed to make more bladder cells.
And it's Atala's work with human bladders that's truly on the frontier. In a clinical trial at Thomas Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia, this patient is getting a bladder transplant with a new bladder grown from her own cells. Using Dr. Atala's regeneration techniques, her cells were isolated, multiplied, and seeded onto a biodegradable scaffold. 8 weeks later, her new bladder is in the operating room, ready for transplant.
Every day I'm amazed.
Dr. Patrick Chenot is her transplant surgeon.
Are you thinking this is the future?
It's very much the future, but it's today. We're doing this today.
What's coming from this technology is a future of highly personal mail-order medicine. where in order to cure your disease, your physician will order a replacement organ or body part which will be custom made for you using your own cells. For the tens of thousands of patients who need organ transplants, this technology brings hope. Hugh Snyder needs a bladder. And this would be a bladder from your own cells?
Yeah. I would never have thought that it was going to be possible to do this kind of thing.
Corporate America already sees what's possible. The Tenjian company has bought the license, built the factory, and is already making the bladders developed at Wake Forest.
We're actually building a very real business around a very real and compelling patient need.
Dr. Stephen Nickberger, Tenjian's CEO, says the company also plans to mass produce blood vessels and kidneys.
In regenerative medicine, I think it is similar to the semiconductor industry of the 1980s. You don't know where it's going to go, but you know it's big.
This brand new kind of medicine and this brand new industry are set to change the landscape for transplanting organs. Patients in the future, instead of waiting years for a donated organ, will wait a few weeks and grow their own. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Wow. And tomorrow in part 2 of Growing Miracles, this man lost a fingertip. Now it's grown back. See how science is helping the body heal itself in amazing new ways. That's tomorrow, right here on the CBS Evening News. Meanwhile, coming up next tonight, how Heath Ledger died. Too many painkillers and sleeping pills can be a prescription for disaster for anyone. The New York City Medical Examiner today revealed the cause of Heath Ledger's death, an accidental overdose of prescription drugs, half a dozen of them. And now federal drug agents want to know how he got them. Byron Pitts has more on the actor's life and untimely death.
In Hollywood, Heath Ledger was a triple threat: gifted, good-looking, and driven. But in the real world, a cocktail of painkillers, sleeping pills, and anti-anxiety medication took his life. According to the New York City Medical Examiner, the 28-year-old Australian-born actor died as a result of acute intoxication by the combined effects of 6 drugs, including prescription drugs like Valium, Xanax, and Vicodin. Medical experts say many combinations of painkillers and anxiety medication can kill through effects on the brain.
It can be a deadly mix anytime. And, you know, you lose a sense of how much you've taken when you take these, because they create a clouding of people's alertness, so they don't even know how much they're taking it often.
What's unclear is over what period of time Ledger consumed those drugs. According to friends, he had one time slipped into a depression over the breakup with his longtime girlfriend and mother of their young child. He'd also complained about his exhausting schedule and difficulty sleeping. Best known for his Oscar-nominated role as a gay cowboy in Brokeback Mountain, Ledger was a rising star. To his fans, his death, while accidental, is no less tragic. Byron Pitts, CBS News, New York.
An update now on the dramatic rescue of a baby tossed from a burning building in Germany. New video today shows families frantically trying to escape the flames. 9 people were killed, including 5 children. But baby owner was caught by a police officer and survived, as did his parents. And here he is with the uncle who threw him out the window and saved his life. With violence in Iraq down, it's easy to forget that Americans continue to die there, the toll now approaching 4,000. Americans like Sean Stokes of Auburn, California, the only Marine private awarded the Silver Star in this war. Ben Tracy tells his story.
This may be one of the proudest moments of Gary Stokes' life, but it's also one he would trade for anything in the world.
Today we honor the memory of a man who has joined a distinguished fraternity of heroes.
This past summer, his son Sean, a Marine who had served in Iraq, told his family he was now floating on an aircraft carrier, far from danger.
When did you know something was wrong?
I didn't even know he was in Iraq until the Marines knocked on my door. Regret to inform you that your son has been killed in Iraq.
Sean had been in Iraq for 45 days. It was the 3rd tour for this former athlete who chose the Marines over college after 9/11.
Did you say, I don't want you to do this?
Yes.
In Fallujah, Sean moved house to house, hunting down Iraqi insurgents.
That's him, man.
What he did was so dangerous, it was documented by journalists.
Every house I walk up to, I'm saying a prayer like, get me out of this one, Lord, please, you know.
Only a private, Sean stood out, often volunteering to go in first, directly in the line of fire.
Welcome home.
Wounded several times, he made it home, twice.
At first of all, we're going, Sean, please, you've done your part, buddy, no more, please.
But Sean wouldn't let down his fellow Marines. He returned to Iraq for a third time. While on patrol, he stepped on a roadside bomb.
We'll never forget the example that Sean set for us.
This morning, on what would have been his 25th birthday, Sean was awarded the coveted Silver Star for courage in battle.
Fallen are all heroes. It's not, it's all of them. And it helps recognize those guys, too.
Because their fellow Marine proved at such an early age that being a hero has nothing to do with rank. Ben Tracy, CBS News, San Diego.
And that is the CBS Evening News. I'm Katie Couric. Thank you for watching. Good night.